This is part 3 of my analysis on movie story formulas. Spoilers for all movies in the description. The first Cars movie uses the change diagram. Lightning starts as an arrogant and selfish character who doesn't value his team. His choice to not get his tires changed results in a three-way tie, which he nearly lost. He also made the choice to force his truck to drive him while he was sleepy, which directly resulted in his problem, being trapped in Radiator Springs. He's forced to clean up his mess, but his first solution of phoning it in doesn't work. He loses a bet to Doc and is forced to clean up the road properly. The solution pass happens early. Afterwards, the change event for his belief is getting to know the citizens of the town. His belief changes to selflessness, and he makes the choice to improve Springs, almost missing his race. This results in him having a team for the last race. In the climax, he sacrifices glory to selflessly help the king, representing his new belief. Mean Girls uses the change diagram. Katie is a transfer student, so she has no friends. Katie's problem is that she wants to be accepted. Janice, the bad mentor, gives her acceptance in exchange for pretending to be a plastic, which involves being cruel. Katie starts making cruel and manipulative choices that eventually isolate her. When everyone hates her, thus the solution failed. Miss Norbury, the good mentor, creates the change event with her advice. This gives Katie the belief that she should be kind and not cruel. This choice helps her win the math competition and fuels her climactic decision to split the crown with everyone. The result is her being accepted in the school. Monsters University uses the debate diagram. Characters like Hardscrabble and Sully believe that you have to look scary and generally have good genes in order to be a good scarer. This is fueled by their naturally scary appearances and accomplished backgrounds. The rivalry between Mike and Sully leads to Hardscrabble testing them. Because the principal believes that Mike is just not scary, she kicks him out, starting the main problem. Mike, however, believes that he can be scary, so he challenges the principal to a bet and forms an underdog team to win the competition. His choices reflect his belief when he trains the outcast to become scary. There are technically two climaxes here. The first is when Mike wins the competition, but only because Sully rigged the machine, meaning that his own friend didn't believe he was scary enough. The second is when the real kids don't find him scary alone, but the duo scares the adults together, proving that he can be scary as a team. The result is complex. Mike isn't scary on his own, but he's amazing at coaching scarers, which is why the two of them become a professional duo at the end of the movie. Aladdin uses the change diagram. He likes Princess Jasmine, but the problem is that he's from the slums. He believes that he's not worthy of her, so he adopts the belief of, be someone else, don't be yourself. His choice is to use the genie's wishes to pretend to be a prince. This fails because Jasmine doesn't like this persona. Genie advises him to be himself, but he doesn't take it. He actually lies again. Genie's repeated advice is the change event that makes him believe that he should tell her the truth, but he doesn't get the opportunity. Jafar steals the genie in the third act. However, Aladdin beats Jafar as his true self without the genie's wishes, and Jasmine chooses him as his true self. Gone Baby Gone uses the debate diagram. The captain's belief is that it's okay to do something wrong for the right reason. This leads to his choice to abduct a girl from an irresponsible mother and let the mom think that she's dead. This creates the problem of finding the girl for the private investigator Patrick. Because of his religious background, he believes it's never okay to do something wrong. He goes to find her, and in the climax, when he learns the truth, he chooses to return the girl to the mother, even after hearing the captain's arguments. The results are mixed. He accomplishes his mission, but his wife leaves him and it's unclear if the mom will ever change. Minority Report uses the change diagram. Anderton's backstory is that his child disappeared and he could have been saved by pre-crime. This fuels his belief that the future is predetermined, which is why he works in pre-crime. Then there's a problem. Pre-crime predicts that he'll kill a guy named Crow, who he doesn't even know. The change event is learning about pre-crime secrets and flaws. Now, Anderton believes in free will. He chooses not to kill Crow as predicted. In the climax, the villain mastermind Burgess is predicted to kill Anderton. He chooses to kill himself because he's in a lose-lose situation. This proves that the future isn't predetermined and pre-crime is shut down. Wreck-It Ralph uses the change diagram. Early in the movie, the lesson is stated, labels don't make you happy, you must love you. Ralph doesn't agree. He feels underappreciated and doesn't want to be the bad guy of his game anymore. He makes the choice to go get a medal to prove that he can be a hero. This creates a problem. He struggles to get the medal while his game goes out of order. Ralph's change event is seeing Vanellope getting bullied. His belief changes to one a little more selfless, but his arc isn't complete yet. He makes the choice of helping her get a medal too, but then another change event happens. King Candy gives him a medal and manipulates him into thinking that stopping Vanellope is for her own good. Ralph makes the choice to destroy her car. When he returns home with the medal, it's a solution fail because his game is getting unplugged. No one treats him like a hero and he's losing his own game. This creates another change event because he sees Vanellope on the game console, which allows him to learn the truth. He makes the choice to help her win the race. Towards the end, he changes his belief. He may be the bad guy, but he's not a bad guy. In the climax, he sacrifices himself to save Vanellope. The result is a happy ending where all of the good guys are safe, his game is back in order, and Ralph is treated better. Into the Spider-Verse uses the change diagram. The problem is that Miles becomes Spider-Man and is given the responsibility of stopping Fisk. His start belief is that he doesn't believe in himself due to his lack of skills. This lack of self-belief ruins his building jump, prevents him from using his abilities on command, and causes his team to lose trust in him. His change event is a speech from his father and the leap of faith quote. His new belief is that he's ready, and his new choice is to redo the building jump. He passes and joins the final battle. In the climax, he defeats Kingpin alone and saves the day. Finally, Kung Fu Panda uses the change diagram. The backstory is that Po is accidentally chosen as a dragon warrior when he has no fighting skills. Because of this accident, Shifu doesn't believe in Po and tries to bully him out of the dojo. Even Po doesn't believe in himself. The change event is when Oogway gives Shifu the advice of believing in Po. Now, Shifu believes that Po is the dragon warrior, but he doesn't know how to train him. The problem is that Tai Lung breaks out, and the dragon warrior is the only one who can stop him. Because they don't believe in Po, the Furious Five make their choice to stop Tai Lung alone, since Shifu doesn't know what to do, but they fail because they aren't the dragon warrior. Shifu learns that food makes Po athletic, so he trains him with food. The solution passes, and Po successfully becomes a better martial artist. There is a negative change event that reverses the progress. When the Dragon Scroll is empty, Po loses belief in himself again, but then another change event undoes that. Words from his father make him believe again. To make something special, you just have to believe it's special. In the climax, Po fights Tai Lung with belief in himself and beats him. The result is a saved day, and Po accepted as the Dragon Warrior. That's all the movies for now. A pattern I've noticed is the change diagram is used more often than the debate diagram. Maybe writers find it easier to do. In the anime arcs that I've analyzed, they lean more towards debate. Another detail I notice is that the order of events isn't always rigid. For example, the position of elements in the timeline can be moved around, like the problem or solution pass. The diagrams are just general outlines that can be manipulated to fit specific stories. A neat trick you can pick up from these is relapsing. I didn't see it in the anime examples I covered, but characters in the change diagram can bounce back and forth between the opponent belief and the hero belief as long as there are believable new reveals that serve as change events. When I say that certain anime are cinematic or movie-like, this is what I mean. They use the same formula as great movies to write their stories. I've watched a lot of anime, but the only genre using this formula several times is the battle genre. So when I say that the battle genre is the most cinematic genre in anime, this is what I mean. If this does well enough, I can cover a few more films. Subscribe for more educational storytelling analysis.